crack it open, feel the thrill. OND Light's the perfect chill. Great content, less filling. It's the vibe you've been missing. OND Light, sit back, relax.
Our topic today is to talk about The Acolyte, Disney's Star Wars TV show. If you have not seen it, you should go watch it, then continue this episode. But if you don't feel like watching it, spoiler warning. Bing, 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 bing.
So
Yeah.
it was essentially supposed to be a show that told a dark side story, which got a lot of people excited to see, a Star Wars show told from, the bad guy's perspective. He's already like, that doesn't sound right. But that was what the basic premise was when it was announced.
Continue. Set in the High Republic era,
Yes,
by the way.
so it is set 100 years before where
Couple hundred. Not exactly
I think
100,
it's
is it?
100, yeah. 100 before where the prequels would have picked up.
Interesting. I thought it was like 2 or 3.
Yeah,
but
it's not
anyway,
that far back, unfortunately.
we'll double check later, but still. It's probably 100.
Yeah.
Anyway, High Republic era, which is actually a really cool era within Star Wars, and they've been writing a lot of books lately that are all canon within that era, and
Well, it's something different. So
yeah. And that was the big thing for the Acolyte, is that this is something like we've never explored this. This is the furthest back any Star Wars property has gone.
Nice of the Old Republic.
Technically not. Well, no, it did just become canon. Pretty positive. So
Yeah,
never mind.
because
Okay.
they're pushing Rev and
Sorry.
Merge now.
Live action, we'll say.
Yeah.
It's the furthest back live action that has been put forward. Let's say Disney property. It's the first Disney created.
That's outside of like the prequels.
Yes,
or
yeah.
the-
So it was supposed to be hot.
outside of the Skywalker saga.
Yeah. Go ahead, continue.
So it's the story of a pair of twins. At least that's how it appears at the start of the show. Who are powerful in the Force. A group of Jedi has tracked this pair down through a quest to find a virgins in the Force. They assume that it's these two girls because of they don't. Just gonna. Is this
Getting a little it's a little farther in than it.
They're raised by witches. Something bad happens. One of the girls is taken to be a Jedi. We don't really know what happened. We're shown a couple of flashbacks, sort of asked to figure it out. One of the twins who we thought was dead is actually still alive. Spoilers. She is on a revenge quest against these Jedi that took her sister away. We find out that there is a Sith operating in the shadows.
Yeah.
Who is apparently one of the twins' trainers. Things happen. Lies are told. Freaky Friday.
What more lies will the Jedi Council tell?
I think I covered everything.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, the story mostly follows who you have to assume the main character, Osha.
Violation.
Her name is Osha. That's one of the twins. She technically is the main character of the show, so you're following her. Like Joey said, you finally meet May, who's her twin sister.
Wait, is it Amanda?
I don't remember her.
Amandala. She's got a kind of weird first name.
We'll have to look it up. I'm not sure if I remember her real name. But yeah, so all in all, if we talk about the show, as Joey said, it's the twins. Basically, they come from a witches cult, born from an all woman's coven. Or that's what a coven is, I think.
Yeah. It's a group of witches. Amandala Stenberg.
So twins are born within this coven. Jedi come to that planet and discover Force virgins. They go to take them. Some stuff happens. Bad things happen, causing a cover up. And then, the two twins finally meet back up. One of them's been being trained by bad guys. In the end, all is revealed of what actually happened. A near and dear cared character is killed because of the lies he told in the name of love. And then we have Osha, who from the beginning was perceived as this good person, and in the end is tempted and brought to the dark side. And that's pretty much about it, right? I mean,
so I started when we talked about this initially a couple weeks ago. I had started off pretty positive on the show. I thought it was fine. There was some interesting things happening. We had some different ways of approaching the Jedi. And I like there was like this martial arts aspect where they wouldn't immediately go for their lightsaber in their, or the Force in their attempt to deal with issues. Like they had, other training besides that they could use. There was this sort of revenge plot going.
Yeah.
Obviously, we figured out the twin thing pretty quick early on.
Yeah, very quick. Because it's the second episode, I want to say, I think.
Yeah.
First episode, maybe?
They did a lot. Like, they wanted to tell it like a mystery, but they sort of revealed each mystery the next episode. So it sort of lost its punch every time.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought there was a lot of weird writing decisions. There was some weird pacing decisions. The show had a huge budget, and it didn't feel like the budget was being applied to the show in any way that really worked most of the
I know
time.
where all the money went. It was the fight scenes, bro. Because first thing we're going to say right now, the fight scenes in The Acolyte, phenomenal. Very, very well done. Very good. Whoever did the fighting choreography for The Acolyte
They were probably the best Disney lightsaber fights that they've done. And
deserves to do it
outside
for the
of
rest of
the martial
Star
arts
Wars stuff.
It was good.
Yeah, very, very well done. So there's one thing to mark on The Acolyte as
I think
good,
that
very well done.
watching it, like, while it was all choreographed well and looked well, a lot of the times still they had issues shooting. Like, especially when you see Kymir's first fight in the forest, there was a lot of scenes where it was just like static camera, like far away, and you just saw like lightsabers in the dark, and it wasn't like dark enough just to be like, oh, here's the like flashes as they contact or whatever, and it was not engaging. Like they were doing really cool stuff, but they weren't shooting in a way that felt cool all the time. I would say that was my only complaint about, while they choreographed them well, they weren't shot well.
One other thing too so we had mentioned when we first started watching it, Master Venestra. The first time we saw her, we both said, that is the worst makeup job I've ever seen. Like, what the heck? But as the show went further, everybody started looking a lot better.
Yeah.
So I don't know if like what had happened was the first, like what we got in the beginning, the first 2 episodes were
or
like
if those were
proof
reshoots,
of concepts.
Like they had to bring people back because the show had
reshoots,
a ton of
yeah.
reshoots. So did they have to bring people back and like they just half-assed the makeup when they came back, or?
So maybe. But that was one thing I really noticed near the end is I went, why the fuck does that look so much better? Yeah. I'm like, hold on a second.
I think they might have shot that last episode first.
You think so?
Yeah.
Interesting.
While it looked good, it felt in parts where it felt disconnected from the rest of the story. Again, with weird writing decisions, and obviously like the sets look better. The production looks better. It felt, I think they shot that first. I think they shot all those scenes before they had shot anything else. We'll say one other thing too. They did the lightsabers practically, and I don't know if I liked it.
I guess I don't know what you mean.
They used Force Effects lightsabers.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, usually they just use
make them
metal hilts with big ass sticks off of them.
Post-production, they do all the actual lightsaber effects.
Yeah.
I think the lightsabers looked fat.
Oh. I don't know if I noticed that as much.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a huge gripe, but it did, like, they didn't look like blades. They just looked like, Force Effects lightsabers.
What's wrong with those? We spent hundreds of dollars on them. Interesting. I thought they just did the same old where it's the hilt and then a big ass stick comes off of it and they edit it later.
It was all practical, so then, they would not run into the usual issues of like getting caught in cloaks or whatever.
Huh. Interesting. Cool. Okay, so what are we doing here?
We're gonna rewrite this so it makes a little bit more sense.
The Acolyte, written by OlderNDumber.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's what we're doing. How now? This was sort of your baby here. What are we? How are we doing this?
We're gonna go.
Following your lead.
We both have ideas of what could have been improved.
Yes.
We're still gonna sort of go through this series, not episode by episode, but as a general overview. Introduction, rising action, climax, essentially.
Okay. So we're rewriting the Acolyte.
Yeah.
Okay. So then I think how we should start this is the Acolyte. What is it? What is our general concept of the Acolyte? Without making a full story, what are we hoping to get out of this story?
So instead of a mystery,
Mm-hmm.
this is a martial arts revenge story.
I don't know if I love revenge. What about espionage?
No.
He says, all right, we're going to go back and forth. If you don't like this, then we go there. I said one thing. No.
Explain why espionage, because to me this felt like a revenge story.
We're rewriting it, though.
I know, but we're gonna try to keep it to its roots, but make it better. See what I
I like
is
the
they
martial
lost-
arts.
They lost that revenge plot through most of the story, and that's why it feels disjointed.
Okay. Well, I don't know if I saw the revenge plot, but I think
let me try to win you to it.
yes.
Okay. So instead of, we keep the same cold opening.
Which was what?
OSHA walks into the cantina.
Oh, you even want to, that was May.
Yeah.
But you even want to keep the same characters?
Yes.
I was thinking of getting rid of Osha and May.
We will get rid of some characters, I think, as we go. But they are sorry, Amanda Listenberg. You're the weakest point in the show.
Yes! I'm sorry, but yes. See, that was the first thing I wanted to get to is what was our general concept and then what characters are we keeping. I want to get rid of May and Osha. I want the stranger to be the main character.
No. See, we're getting rid of Kamir.
We're going to get rid of Kamir? Why would we get rid of Kamir?
Well, if you let me explain.
All right, go ahead. Fuck it.
Okay, so we keep the same cold opening.
Which is May comes in to
we
go
have
kill
May
Master
comes in
Indara.
to kill Indara.
Okay.
That plays out almost exactly the same.
Except Master Indara doesn't die because I know that was your biggest
Nope.
garp with the first episode.
It happens, but
Oh.
it happens differently.
It happens in a way that makes sense.
Yes. So as they fight,
Okay.
eventually the fight, instead of going upstairs, goes to the bar, and they're fighting on the bar.
Okay.
And the bartender keeps trying to move around. We don't see what he's doing, but he's moving around trying to shuffle something around.
Sure.
May gets knocked down.
Off the bar?
No, just down onto the bar.
Okay.
And then Dara's like, you can't beat me. I'm a Jedi Master. She's a little cocky, right?
She's not a cocky character, though.
She has to be.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
She's a Jedi Master. We're trying to show that the Jedi maybe not the greatest. That was part of like this show's thing too.
All right.
She's well over this assassin that's just trained in the dark side.
Mm-hmm.
She's a Jedi Master.
Mm-hmm.
So she's confident that she has this fight won.
Sure.
So she's gloating a little bit. She's like, stay down. You can't beat me. There's nothing you can do to beat me. I'm a Jedi Master. Who's your master? Who trained you?
Well, she also knows who she was.
Yeah.
So there's got to be something in there too.
There's no face tattoo though. We're getting rid of that bullshit.
The circular thing. But she started the right.
Sure.
Okay.
That's fine.
Go ahead.
That can still happen.
Okay.
But there's no face tattoo.
Okay.
It makes it more believable that we can screw these two characters up.
Okay.
During this gloating, May looks down, sees that the alien guy is protecting a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Just like in the movie, the kid's there.
Show, but yes.
We're making May a villain. She grabs the kid and pulls it out from behind the bar and puts a dagger to it.
I mean, May was already a villain. She threw a dagger at him.
She was a villain when she felt like it and the story needed it.
Gotcha. So May jumps off the bar, grabs the kid.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She's going for the kid. Let's say she doesn't grab it.
Okay.
She's going for the kid.
Mm-hmm.
Throws the dagger. Inara stops the dagger. That's when she spins around and catches her off guard. But she doesn't throw it. Inara has to move up to stop it.
The dagger.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, during the fight, one of May's daggers got disarmed into the bar.
Mm-hmm.
So as Indara is going to stop it,
Mm-hmm.
May spin kicks the other dagger into her chest.
That's almost the same thing as what happened before.
Yeah, but she's more distracted. She's worried about a kid.
She's
And it's mid-action.
Okay.
But critique it. Come at it.
Well,
How would you change my vision?
I think. I mean, she was still saving a life before. And as she did it, another one was thrown. And your whole thing was that she couldn't have stopped both. And she's distracted by saving that person's life. That makes sense. Of course, later on, then we see her being a complete badass and could have totally done both things.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we need to do better than just distracted by saving a life. I think it needs to be a choice that she had to make that causes her death.
Sure. What's the choice?
So I'm going to have to think something more like... Daggers can be stopped. Blasters can't. But May's not carrying a blaster. That's her whole thing. She's technically supposed to not be killing with a weapon. So maybe it's something to do with the building. The building itself somewhere topples. And the kid or the bartender are in the way. And Indara, in order to save them, will have to get them out of the way. But it's in a way where she was standing next to them to protect like the dagger throwing or something. So maybe it's a little bit like this. Over top of the bar, a little bit higher, is, let's say, a large mounted head of some creature that has horns in it, right? Let's call it, what's the one with the Mandalorians? What's that called? A mudhorn or something.
No, mudhorn.
Yeah, something like a mudhorn, okay? Big mounted one on top of the bar. She stops the dagger like before, stops it, right? But she's like close by. So then she makes the dagger go, like away, jumps down to the family and is like, you need to get out of here. But at that time, May is either doing something else with a dagger or whatever that causes that portion to topple or break or destroy in a fashion that it's so heavy that instead of Indara forcing it to catch it, makes a decision of, I will physically push these people instead. For some reason, the moment of clarity of decision, instead of the force, which is the thing that Jedi are supposed to like rely on to save them, she thought of them first rather than herself. Push them out of the way, topple, die.
Okay.
I feel something like that is a bit more believable than the I could have stopped.
What if it's what if there's a heavy like, oh, the upper floors are suspended by something. And during the fight, May is cutting.
Yes, hitting the wires. So something like that. Something where the decision.
And I like that because that makes May like a smarter character.
Yes,
because she knows she can't beat Indara like that either. So she's moving this whole thing, weakening the wires. When they get down there, she makes the ceiling fall.
Yes,
Indara has to push the other ones out of the way, and she gets.
That's crushed. Much more believable than the I couldn't stop both daggers. Yep. Dagger this big and going a little fast. Big ass fucking thing. You are the body standing next to a child and a man. You take the instinct of pushing rather than the force. I think that makes so much. Yeah. I think that's more believable.
She throws him out of the way and then gets crushed.
Yes, more believable, I feel.
Hey there, dipshits. It's me, Joey, aka Slooty Mage.
I'm Hunter, voice of Hunter Taylor.
And I'm Carter, Eagle Eagle.
We're
OlderNDumber.
Every Friday, we drop wisdom, humor, and a whole lot of nonsense. You won't want to miss it.
Become a patron today for as low as $5 a month. Get early access to all our episodes and exclusive behind-the-scenes looks at all the things we're doing and May's super secret editing notes.
Shout out to all our awesome dipshits. Your support really helps keep this madness going.
Join the crew. Be a dipshit. It's an exclusive club, and you're invited.
Go Dipshits Mark your calendar every Friday for a dose of Older and Dumber craziness. See you there.
Fade to black. Now my stand. Fade to black.